I've said this numerous times. DSRP makes a bunch of predictions about the world. And so far, it's got a good track record in terms of those predictions being empirically proven or supported. So one of the predictions that DSRP makes, which is kind of batshit crazy if you think about it.
That's a technical term.
It's a technical term, yeah. Is the idea that everything has a perspective.
Yes.
Not just people or animals that you think of as having perspective, but everything has a perspective. Everything in the universe has a perspective or is a point that has a unique view. Not everything has eyes. So when we, sometimes the language gets in the way of explaining this a little bit. But we're not saying that everything has eyeballs and is literally seeing, obviously. We're not even saying that everything is sort of processing at the level or the way that humans process or that mammals process or anything like that. But in their unique way, unique to them, they are experiencing their environment, their local context, and they're picking up on information in the environment, and they're responding to that information in a different way that maybe their neighbor is responding because their neighbor's in a similar but slightly different environment.
Right.
Because they're occupying a different point in the universe, right? So DSRP makes this prediction that this is the case, and one day I'm reading. It was actually a news article that said, atoms have perspective.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And so I looked to see if there was any, empirical work done on it or if it was just some, clickbait or something. Pretty nerdy clickbait. But it turns out that it's an article that was published in the
Physical
Review Applied.
Yes,
so good journal. And I read the article. It's a physics journal, paper on physics, and basically concludes, one of the conclusions is based on this experimental data, atoms have perspective.
Yes, which is a pretty...
To me, kind of obvious, but it's not. It's something that I realize people will have issues with. They'll sort of say, "What are you talking about?" So I wanted to make sure that in academia you're trying to get your research out, so you might say things a little differently in the public sphere than you would say in an academic sphere, because the public might not understand the way you're parsing words in the academic space. So I wanted to give the person that. Leeway that maybe they're writing in a popular journal, they're saying something in a way that is more popularly accessible. So I wrote to the author.
Yes.
And I said, hey, I wanted to understand your research. Are you saying this metaphorically?
Right.
Or are you saying this literally? Meaning, are you saying that your experimental research is literally showing that atoms have a point of view?
Yes.
Or are you sort of saying it in a linguistic and metaphorical way so that people can kind of grasp a hard to grasp concept?
Right.
And he wrote back and he said, I'm absolutely saying it literally.